unless you are dumb, deaf, or blind, you know that Jalen Hurts signed a mega contract, making him the highest paid player in the NFL. It may not last for long, but let's go out here and build this motherfucking roster. What's up? It's your boy Cintron. Come back at you with another analysis video, and I kid you not, that's my real name, as well as some news. And the obvious news is that Jalen Hurts just signed a huge 5-year, $255 million contract extension that makes him the highest paid player in NFL history. Man, it's just great news, and I believe this deal still gives us the ability to build a roster around him, because how are you just not going to do that? And even though he's getting paid $51 million a year, there are some caveats. Let's look into those. Hurts' deal has $179.304 million in total guarantees. Man, that's humongous. Not as huge as the Deshaun Watson fully guaranteed $230 million 5-year contract, which is set a horrible precedent for the the NFL owners. They hated it, but I love that the Cleveland Browns went on the limb and did that for him, paid him, and made sure that he wasn't going to lose a freaking huge amount if they came after his money. So, anyways, this includes $110 million fully guaranteed at signing, and $126.5 million fully guaranteed by March 2024. So wow, that's a lot of it, there. So it gives us a huge amount of room to build around after 2024 as well. So we're not hamstrung, even though it is a shorter contract with 5 years, half the length of Patrick Mahomes, as well as the first no trade clause in Eagles history. So this man out here setting further history, saying that, man, you ain't gonna be able to trade me without my say. Just in the event, just to put that in there. Another sign of the franchise's faith in Hurts, who is still only 24. He's only 24 years old. Just completed his 3rd season, his 2nd as a starter. And man, we've got him until 2028. We're squared away. This contract was coming. They said they want to get it done this offseason rather than delay it until the next one, because Burrow still got to get paid. Herbert still got to get paid. Lamar Jackson still got to get paid. I mean, they're going to reset the market. Like I said, limited time only. He's only going to be the highest paid for a short period of time, because those 3 guys potentially, coming up, maybe usurp him, but definitely 2. Herbert and Burrow are going to get their Skrilla, their money, their guap. I mean, they're greenbacks. It's going to get wild out here, man. But having that amount of guaranteed money out by 2024, I just believe that there's going to be some cap relief for us there. And the cap is expected to expand, and we'll get into that later, to a projected number of like 250 or something like that. But it's like a 14% increase over what it is this year. All right, the Eagles QB can earn an additional $15 million in incentives, giving him an opportunity to make as much as $274.304 million through 2028. Man, damn, including $4.304 million that he was slated to earn this year on his original rookie contract. That's crazy, man. You go from earning 4 to getting a signing bonus like $26 million, and that's just the fucking signing bonus. Getting $64 million by, I think, 2024, which is that's just nutso. Hurts gets a raise in 2023, including a $23.294 million signing bonus. So that means his cap number most likely is going to be very controllable this year, and it's still going to allow us some flexibility to make maybe a few moves. Definitely sign our own draft class, and then maybe some wiggle room to make sign 1 or 2 guys here in case we need to do some roster tweaking after coming out the draft, which we most likely will. But we'll also be adding guys from cuts from training camps and guys. I mean, injuries most likely will take place. Will create a market where people are just grabbing this guy and that guy, and then the street free agents, priority free agents coming out of the draft. So there's still some retooling to be done, and then one of Howie's favorite tools in his wheelhouse, trades, and particularly before the season. Like we got C.J. Gardner-Johnson last year, just before after training camp, just before the season started, for 2 day 3 picks. Turned out to be fantastic. Sad he didn't sign back up with us, but it is what it is. The Eagles now have him under contract for the next 6 years on a deal that preserves that flexibility to keep the team intact around him. And that's why I'm like, you're not gonna plan beyond 6 years. As far, I mean, like, you extend guys, but this is the window, like, that, you're worried about this primarily. If you can extend a guy beyond that, but you got these guys joining the team as rookies, whatever, you're focusing on that first contract. You have your eyes set on that beyond, but I mean, I'm gonna dive into this with a video later, but just why it's foolish to bank on us having a guy for several years, whatever, because there's so many unforeseen things that happen that affect the second contract, not only if there is one, but the length and the amount. All right, the total guarantee of $179.304 million on Hurts' new deal is the second largest in NFL history, behind only Deshaun Watson's 5-year, $230 million fully guaranteed deal with the Browns last year. Only Watson and Broncos quarterback Russell Wilson had more money fully guaranteed at signing than Hurts, $110 million. So wow, and Russell's getting $250 million, almost. Hurts is getting him $250 million and then some. The total cash is second in NFL history, behind only the 10-year, $450 million extension Patrick Mahomes signed with the Chiefs in 2020, and now that's looking like a steal at $45 million a year, and it's only going to get better for him, or I should say for the Chiefs. So I mean, a smart move, gives them the cap flexibility that to be able to add pieces around him, and it's long term. So he'll be in like 30s, when he finishes that contract, but he'll be well paid, almost $500 million. All right, let's jump into this article that delves further into the Jalen Hurts saga. Love it. All right, so Jeffrey Chattyha here with the first read. 5 major takeaways from Jalen Hurts' mega extension. Man, it was lovely. So number one, the negotiations between Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens just got harder. So it's crazy that they haven't got anything done. It just shows you that the priority and the seriousness with which Jalen Hurts and his agent and the front office, Harry Roseman, were about getting this done. I mean, it was just smooth sailing. They said they were going to get done, and they did in one off season, and without any huff and puffing, puffing, and any big speed bumps, whatever. It just was smooth sailing. And Jackson and them, he's thrown barbs. The GMs has thrown barbs. It's just been so contentious, and it just shows that there's something boiling beneath the surface there with that. And what's the impetus on not getting? He's actually a former MVP. I mean, granted, Jalen Hurts took him to the Super Bowl, but he hasn't been there yet as a starting quarterback. But it's crazy. They're just so far apart on money, specifically guarantees, and they're just kind of, doubting their franchise quarterback. Just to put it succinctly, it's crazy. I would think that they would get it done faster, and or just it shouldn't be an issue. But it just night and day. It shows you that it's like a girl. If she really wants to get at you, she'll find a way, no matter what she's going through. But in this day and age, chasing people, nah. Ravens front office is probably like, we're not gonna chase you, Lamar. We're gonna let you do what you're gonna do. But yeah, he's the highest paid, surrounded by talent, and they allowed him to grow into a star, and he felt comfortable being there. And it should be the same for Lamar Jackson there, but for some reason, he doesn't. Throwing barbs at the receivers. GM Eric DeCosta was, and I'm like, this doesn't look good. Number 2, Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow should be thrilled. So they didn't quite get the $200 million in guaranteed money, but this is a good look. It's escalating, moving the ladder, the expectations further up, and some, they're gonna get paid. They both have 2 years left on their deal, with the 5th year option. But the more you delay it, the worse that the terms are gonna get, and then the salary cap gets higher. The expectation for higher pay gets higher. The better this contract is gonna look. And I love that we got it out of the way before they did, and because they'll look like, oh, all right, that's the floor. Now we're gonna show you where the ceiling's at. So very smart for Roseman to be proactive and get with his agent, and the highest contracts ever signed by a female agent in sports. So she's also B. John Roberts' agent, so gotta love that. High Roseman's gamble paid off. So I mean, yeah, he already had Carson Wentz in place, had to sign him into an extension, 170, 150 million over 4 years, and I think 160, and then we draft this guy, Jalen Hurts, in the second round. He was dying in the rough. He wasn't a finished product by any means, and spending that huge amount of draft capital. I was like, what what are you doing? I've since come around because I didn't know shit. I didn't understand. I think and even if he was just drafted him as an insurance policy, and then later as to be sent out as a trade asset, it's worked wonderfully. He's developed. Even in 2021, we could have tried to replace him, put weapons around him, tailor the offense to his skill set, ground and pound, and then really gave him the keys to the offense. Say, hey, go out there and prove it. And you're like, okay, well, he's playing well. He's playing well. Oh, we haven't lost yet. Oh man, he's looking like a matured quarterback. He's developed and everything. So he just took off. He took off in production. He took off in maturity. He took off in leadership. It was just excellence, So that gamble, like you said, paid off hugely, and ended up in us barely losing the Super Bowl. But man, he's hungry. He's the first man in that building in the following week, saying, "Hey, what can I do? Give me the film. What can I look at? How can I look at it? How can I improve and get better?" And that's what you want out of your franchise quarterback, and then some. So he was due to get paid, and he deserves every red consent. One more win for dual threat quarterbacks everywhere. Yeah, man. We've always had like offshoots. They said like Lamar Jackson's MVP year was an outlier because he was kind of like doing it alone. I mean, there were some guys that had mobility, but we got guys like Kyler Murray, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, Justin Fields, and then in this class we'll see what he develops into. But we don't know what he is. He's an unknown quantity. But Anthony Richardson runs a 4.43, 6'4", 244 pounds. I mean, 4. That Wendy's deal is looking hella good. But it's giving them, he's on the extreme end because he's developed, and he's not even a finished product, but he looked superior to other teams, or defenses in the league trying to defend him, and really showed that you can do both. Titans game point to that where like he aired it out, and then the Packers game where he did both run and pass. So I mean, like he can hurt you. He can hurt you either way. But also he's looking to take that next step in really hitting on those intermediate routes. Anticipation, improving on his deep ball accuracy even further. Anticipation, audibles. I mean, so there's so many areas that he can still continue to get better, even though he had an MVP caliber season. So I mean, the sky is the limit. All right, the Eagles are official on the clock, so I love that they put this out there because it is at the forefront. Hart Roseman, he messed up here with the Jalen Reagor pick in 2020, 21st overall, and now Jalen Reagor is playing in Minnesota with the man that he was drafted in front of, one Justin Jefferson, who he should have gone after. I was wrong. I picked Reagor over Justin Jefferson. I was like, oh, he's a slot receiver. He's not as fast as was on tape. Wrong, dead motherfucking wrong. So it is what it is. But we did find our way to AJ Brown, but we've got to hit on our draft picks now, like with deadly consistency, because we no longer have room paying a guy $51 million a year on average, and no room for error. Like, you can't just erase them so easily. If you commit to somebody with money and with a pick, you miss on those, it's gonna set you back because you don't have the room to just erase it like you would before with the guy on a rookie contract who's making $4 million, $3 million, in the hundreds of thousands. You now need to make sure the guys around him are going to be guys that have talent, discipline, room to improve, the right mentality, work ethic, independent thinkers, and whatever other measuring sticks you have, but make sure they're a good fit for your chemistry and for your locker room, because you bring in a guy, whatever, he doesn't have enough talent, but he's smart, okay, or he doesn't, he has all the talent in the world, but he makes poor decisions out the field. Jalen Carter looking at you, it's going to hurt you. So we don't have the room. We no longer have room for that those kind of mistakes being made. We need to be consistent, but Howie shouldn't take his foot off the gas and get passive. Need to stay aggressive, but just in the right way. All right, so let's look at some news around the league. All right, so Rams Stafford is feeling better. I don't know if it was a shoulder or whatever injury. He said, "I'm not no longer a human judgment machine." So it's the arrow's pointing up for him and the Rams. But let's see what they can do. It's going to be maybe not a rebuilding year, but they have their highest pick they've had in a while. I think it's a third-round pick, and they do have 12 selections. But it's uncharted territory for them. But hey, their loss is Eagles game. All right, Bucks running back White expects to be a stud, enter year 2. So he's being given the reins. Let's see what he does. I have no idea who Rashad White is, but I'm looking forward to seeing him. I love young talent in the league. Andy Reid expecting good things from wide receivers Kadarius Toney and Sky Moore. Yeah, they got to grow up, because they just sent out Juju Smith-Schuster. Travis Kelce is a year older, and they also got rid of Mecole Hardman. So a deep threat, which Moore could be, and consistent playmaker. Kadarius Toney could be an upgrade on that front. Let's see how those guys develop. So Kadarius Toney is going into his third year, and Sky Moore is his second. So it's a lot. It's a big burden to put on some young guys' shoulders. But who better to get them organized and get them set and get them put in position for success than one Patrick Mahomes? Bryce Young cancels remaining pre-draft visits. So maybe he got a guarantee that Jalen Carter said, "Hey, I'm dumb. I'm dumb as hell. This dude is going top 2 at the worst, maybe top 5. So, hey, he's good to go. These were just kind of formalities for him, but glad he did take them, unlike one Jalen Carter. And Texans are open to listening to calls for the number 2 pick. Let's be real, it's going to take an overhaul. You're going to come out pocket maybe 2 first-rounders, one this year and another next year, and then some other high picks, some day 2s and day 3s. Some high day 2s and 3s. You talking about some top models, but they'll be right to do so, because next year will actually be the better draft for them to look for a quarterback. And then if they suck this year, they put themselves in prime position. There's no guarantee for that, but the Jaguars are the top dog in the AFC South, and the AFC is a tougher division overall, top to bottom, with those quarterbacks, coming into play. So, they have a lot to listen to, but I hope the Eagles aren't trying to trade up to number 2. That would just be dumb. Anyways, we're going to get up out of here. I know you're not even here, though. You're not even watching. It's all good, though, because, as always, it's fly, Eagles, fly, and let's motherfucking go! Like, comment, share, and subscribe Thanks for watching. Check me out at Cintron, Cintron Anime, Cintron Life, or Cintron Laughs, or other social media.